Hey, good morning, good people. This is Arthur Toole with the Ideas to Profits in 9 Steps. And today I am answering questions that you guys have sent me. And on this particular day, I'm going to tell you how to register for your business license in the state of Maryland. All right. So if you know anybody that's trying to register their business license, be it an LLC or a corporation, this is the video you want to send them. All right. Let's get started.
Life try to beat me down, but it don't work, see, I'm too strong. Defeating I ain't friends, cause we don't never get along. I can't stand the status quo, you can't box me in, bro. I take risk, I stand on edge and click no parachute.
Let's go.
Okay, the first thing you want to do is type in Maryland SOS in your browser. Now what that's going to do is pull up the Secretary of State. No matter what state you're in, you're going to always be looking for the Secretary of State. So you have to register your business online in Maryland. Now, make sure that you have the .gov. All right, there's a lot of for-profits that are charging you to register your LLC. They're not good or bad. It's just you want to make sure that you're actually going to the government website. So once you do that, since you probably don't have an account, go up here to log in, create an account. Once you get to the website, it's going to ask you for your account credentials. You just click down here at the bottom, create an account. And you just fill out your information. So we'll just put in your contact information. Put in an email address. Now some of this is already defaulted because I've created one for Danette a while ago and my computer just saved it. And then put in your mailing address. And then you go down below, they're going to ask you to create a username and password. They're going to say what type of Maryland Business Express user describes you. You want to click on business owner representative if you're doing this for yourself. Now this says check this box if you want to receive occasional emails from SDAT relating to your interests. You just click no. Once you're logged in, you see right here at the top, click here to create a new business filing. And then you have a choice of which type of business you want. So proprietorship, general partnership, Maryland LLC, limited liability corporation, and then you have the corporations. For most people, Maryland Limited Liability Corporation will be the one. And then that's going to ask you a question. Do you want to upload your own documents or do you want to use the online forms? For most people, you can just go ahead and click on I will use the online forms and save and continue. Here, you enter the business name. Let's just say my first company. And then how do you want it to look? How do you want the LLC to look after your company's name? Do you want literally say limited liability company, comma L.L.C. or comma LLC? Most will probably do comma LLC. And then you tell it to search for names. So what it's going to do is it's going to search make sure that the name is available. And then, and if it's not available, it'll kick it back and tell you to pick another name. All right. Now you have to tell it where your main office is going to be. Now your main office can be your house, or it could be a virtual space like a Regis or WeWorks or anything like that. They just want to have an address where they can send you all your information. Okay, county will be whatever county you live in. And then zip, we all know what our zips are. Now, if the address that you're using as your main office is different than your mailing address, make sure you click here. But if it's the same, then you can leave this box unchecked, and then all correspondence from the state will be mailed to that address. Now, many people ask, what email address should we use? Should I create a business email address or not? Just use your regular email address, whichever one you check the most often, because that's what they're going to be sending their correspondence to. And then you put in your telephone number. And for most people, that's a cell phone now. Now for this one, you want to ask for description of business. You can put it in there if you want, or you can leave it blank. You know, my first company, let me spell it correctly, is a consulting company I made up from thin air. And you hit continue. Now, registered agent, that is the person that can accept the services from the state, or the state will speak to when they have questions or they want to send documentation. So it's either going to be a person, another corporation, or another LLC. So you would select individual. And then you type in your name. Now, if there's more than one person that's going to own the company, say you're married, you have to decide which name goes there. This has nothing to do with ownership. This only has to deal with whose name would be on the letters that they send to you. Then they want you to put the address of the registered agent. And notice it says you cannot use a P.O. box. Never knew why that was, but I know in pretty much all states, they don't like you using P.O. boxes. They want an actual address. Hit save and continue. Now, if you want to list someone else as an additional person for them to contact, this would be the spot where you can put in for your spouse. You can put it here. But if you don't, you just scroll down and hit continue. All right, then you just read the summary. You have provided all the information required to file articles of organization for your LLC. Review the information and make any necessary corrections by clicking on the edit link. When you are confident that all the information is correct, please proceed to certify your information. Important, please read. Please review it and ensure all the information listed below is accurate and shown exactly as you want it. Once you submit your application, you cannot make any changes. If you need to make changes later, you will be required to submit additional paperwork and/or pay additional fees. So what they're trying to tell you is, for instance, I say my first company, comma, LLC. Let's say I meant to say my first and spell out the word first company, LLC. I can change it now for free just by hitting the edit button. But if I hit submit and I pay the fees and I get approved, I will have to go in and submit additional documentation stating why I needed to make this change. For instance, also here, you see how the C in company is lowercase? That matters because they're going to keep it the exact same way. So I will go in here and click edit. Go in here, change the C to a capital C. Hit search names. That's it. You go down, check the information, make sure all that's correct. Then click proceed to certification. Now, this is when you're saying, hey, I certify everything is correct. The address is correct. The person who actually owns the company is correct. You want to make sure you have this accurate. They take this pretty serious. Now, for authorized persons, it would be whomever is going to be representing the business. The registered agent and the authorized persons can be different people. Make sure you check this box certifying that you're the registered agent name that's up there. And you're almost done. Then the filing part, this is the person that's doing it. And so for now, it would be me or you. And then you put in the same information. I know it seems like you're putting in the same information over and over again. One way to expedite this is when you first put in your information, you can say add to contacts. And then what you do here, you have this button here say select from my contacts. And then that way you can just select your name and it'll automatically drop it down. But for purposes of this video, I want to go in and do it every time so that nobody gets confused or make any unnecessary mistakes. So we keep entering our name, email address, telephone number, and mailing address. And if you want to add to my contacts, if you didn't do it before, you can do it there. The next thing you do is you check the box saying you certified that these articles of organization from the department. Basically, it's the letter saying, hey, you are approved. And you're certifying it. And then once you fill that out, it'll tell you have completed your application. Your application is awaiting payment before it can be submitted for review to the Maryland Department of Assessments and Taxation. And that's pretty much it. You can scroll down, get some information. Like if you wanted to add your own articles of incorporation, it'll allow you to make some changes there, but I wouldn't do that. Establish tax accounts with the comptroller. You don't really need to do this right now unless you're going to have employees this year. This will help make sure that you file the unemployment taxes that you're going to need for your employees and all those other things. Now, trade names. If you were saying, hey, my company is named My First Company, but when I talk to other people, I call it, Easy Tape. And yes, I said Easy Tape because I'm looking at Easy Tape. Go with me. You can go in and say trade name, and what will happen is with the state of Maryland, it'll say it is My First Company. It'll also say doing business as Easy Tape. And then you just apply for that. The only thing that's left is you scroll back up to the top and you see one item for payment. Articles of organization is $100. Articles of organization certified copy is $21. Department of Assessments and Taxation fees is $70 for a total of $191. And then you make payments. And that's pretty much it. That's all it is to filing your business license in the state of Maryland, okay? It is as easy as 15 minutes worth of work. While you're on your lunch break, you can set this up. Now, the next step is to wait until you get approval. Now, once you get approval, then they'll send you a letter saying, hey, you're approved. We recognize you as a business. Then the next step is to go to get your EIN, which is what you would get with IRS. Now, that takes a few minutes, but it's also free. But don't do it until you get the approval from the state, because the state has to make sure that the name you're using is available. If you go get your EIN number now and the state denies your application, then you have to refile for your EIN with the IRS. And you just don't want the hassle. Just wait. I promise this is coming. All right. Now, that's it. Now you have a business. Now you're a legit business owner. Once you get all these things, you can go ahead and get the bank account. You can start working on your business credit if that's what you want to do. You can start taking gigs and having people pay the actual company, so you can separate your business expenses and your business revenue from your personal. You always want to make sure you keep that separate. All right. Now, if you have any questions, let me know. If you're in a different state and you're like, Arthur, how in the world do I get my business license in the state of Georgia, in the state of Wyoming? Just shoot me a message below. Also, I am adding these to YouTube. So for those who are not Facebook or Instagram, I've heard you. You have it here. All right, you guys, be blessed. Let's get to work. I'll see you next time.